Welcome back to another episode of the Link podcast presented by Electra Link. I'm your host, Bree Pettit, and we have something a little bit different for you guys today. Today's episode is going to be another panel discussion, this time with Electra Link's Dallas team. So why don't we go ahead and get started by having everyone introduce themselves, what they do here at Electra Link, and how long they've been with the company.
AJ Weathered. I am the AV department here in Dallas. I'm a sales engineer. Been here for going on 8 years now.
Right. Hi, gang. Paul Parsons. I am the senior account manager responsible for business development and maintaining customer relationships. I've been here a little over 18 years.
Jason Hemmingson, General Manager. I've been with Electra Link for 13 years. I handle pretty much the operations side of everything. And
Awesome. And have you guys all been in the Dallas market the whole time here at Electra Link, or have you been at the other offices at all?
Well, I know Jason has. I've been in San Antonio office and also the Austin office.
Yeah, I've been based here the entire time. Yeah, I've traveled for a couple of customers, primarily in the Austin market. Haven't spent too much time in Houston, though.
Okay.
and now I spent 6 years in the Austin market.
Okay. So seeing a little bit of everything.
A little bit.
Okay, so we'll jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the growth within the DFW area. So DFW area has the largest population growth of 2023 of any metro area in the country. How do you guys think that this growth will impact Electra Link's future business within the DFW area?
I could take the lead on that. More people. There's going to be, obviously, they're looking for jobs coming this way. They're not coming here just to retire. So you got businesses coming this way, which obviously can make some opportunities. Also, the influx of people brings, more talent to the pool. So there's opportunities for, technicians and project managers and admins and just different people in the industry coming in.
Yeah, we definitely have seen a growth in the developer investment in the market. However, I guess we also can think about it leads to a little more competition as well. We've seen, all of us who've seen companies from other states view it as a land opportunity and want to jump in. So,
Okay.
I read somewhere that we house 8.1 million now in the DFW.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's from the census that they did in 2023.
Oh my gosh.
Just in the DFW, and so many companies are predicting needs way into 2025 just based off the gross population in 2023.
That's wild. So it comes with opportunities and challenges. What do you guys think is going to be the biggest challenge that we face specifically in DFW?
Well, I don't know if it's specifically DFW area, but the corporate office vacancies have taken its toll on all parts of construction. Dallas has been lucky to be one of the areas that's seen pretty good improvement in the industrial market. Logistically, we're perfectly centrally located.
Yeah.
We see a lot of the warehouse type builds have popped up. And then, of course, this is going to probably get repetitive through this call, but the data center and AI boom has really seen the data center market take off here.
Yeah, I think we're just far enough away from the coast and not to get to hurricanes, and we don't have the earthquakes of the West Coast. So I think it's a safe location for all this stuff to come to. So plus, DFW is a decent sized airport and it's easy to get.
Yeah.
in and out.
Specifically speaking of the challenges, I know that you probably deal with, Jason, more than any of us, is the labor shortages. While, yes, there's been an influx of people, it's probably been difficult to keep up.
It has in some ways, and you can definitely find lower guys coming in, but the problem is find the guys who are willing to stay. What we talked about earlier about competition and coming into the market is usually those entry level guys, the first, second year guys in the company, they chasing the dollar. So you do have a little bit of a turnover rate amongst lower level guys, first, second year guys, but generally most people who do come work here, at some point, on the field side, you guys, Paul and AJ, do a very good job about keeping us very busy. So it's not like they're sitting at their house any time of the week, like, man, I only worked 30 hours this week. I know you can find something that gives me 40, but, here at this office, we've been very fortunate. The guys are working 40 hours. It's almost not normal. It's 50-hour work weeks. And so they get comfortable with that paycheck. And so it's hard to go jump somewhere else when you're really, really busy. And either they offered you $1 more than we're paying you now, it doesn't cover up the overtime cost or money that you make. So But the labor shortages, I do see it from time to time. I mean, it was a really rough, like last year. Uh, you hire a guy, he come do orientation, and then he might not even show up the next day to start work. I mean, you just never knew. But I think we got really fortunate because we have a good core of people in the field, and they bring in most of the people themselves. I mean, I know we have ads on, but the majority of our technicians come from, word of mouth. And there's a lot of family members. I mean, obviously we have, cousins and brothers and uncles and all that stuff in the office. We're fortunate. We really are.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. That was going to call you to the next thing. I was going to ask you if there's been any changes from 2020 to today within the workforce. Do you feel like there's anything else to add to that?
I think what changed in 2020 to today is the price flavor the most.
Okay.
I think eating from the grocery store to the gas station, I mean, everything went up. And what you would pay somebody to start, in 2020, you could get them to come into work for that. The gas would kill them. They'd be just driving around to go to work, picking up all the money, and they would be able to pay their rent, So I think that was one of the biggest changes. And I'm sure every company out there has gone through it. And sometimes it was kind of hard to bite because we're a bid company. We do a lot of bid work. And so our prices might have been from 2020 and you didn't do the work until the end of 2021. Well, you kind of stuck with the price you gave. And so it took a lot of balancing and managing the best you could of budgets. But, if you want to get people to come in and work, you got to pay them. And we got to make sure that, they feel appreciated too. That's giving some kind of recognition, if it's just a shake of the hand or some kind of, prop on our social media. I mean, that recognition to that employee is a big deal.
Yeah. I know it definitely does. What do you guys think are some things that helps make Electra Link stand out from our competitors, especially now that there's so many people here and there's more competitors popping up?
Oh, I'm about to sound all cliche, but I mean, I feel like Electra Link kind of stays or resides on the edge of today into tomorrow. So like when it comes to adaptation or navigating possible pitfalls, and riding future wave before it's time, I think that's where we love to be. It is what it is, and we run with it. We don't have any follow because, having those issues or having those issues taken care of. So I think it's a dedication to that culture. And like JC was saying, like you got a lot of brothers and families, the cousins that work here, and it's really easy to pass on that culture to your brother, let him know what's going on or best friends, stuff like that. And it resonates here a lot through a lot of our texts.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and Electra Link has been a specialty contractor for our entire 39 years. So that in itself helps us stand out to the customers. We specialize in one area. We can cater specifically to their needs, and we've always stood for quality and customer service. That has helped us build our brand loyalty, customer retention. In fact, when I first started, Ernie, our owner, he came to us and he said, "You need to understand, we sell service." Kind of thought to myself, does that really mean?
Yeah.
But after a while, it made sense. There's a lot of contractors that can install low voltage structured cabling and AV, but we stand out by servicing them and delivering a superior overall product. So I think those are the main points where Electra Link differentiates itself.
I think also that we do what we got to get the job done. I mean, there's a lot of, sometimes something's missing a bid or it's not in the job and we know it's mission critical, we get it done. And then we just, customer appreciates that in some way because people make mistakes. It could happen on our side, it could happen on our customer side, it could happen anywhere. And a lot of times it comes down to being adapted to the situation that you're in at that moment. So, and like I said earlier, the guys that we have out in the field or ladies, I don't want to exclude them either. They're our forward-facing customer support, and if a customer comes up to them, talks to them, they do everything they can do to make that person happy. And so sometimes it's a little more excessive than needs to be, but it pays back us long term because, like, I'm sure majority of our customers are return customers. They want us on their bids just because they've been using us for 30 something years.
And yeah, I think that consistency breeds customer loyalty, and it may sound hokey, but we're all in the hospitality business, just like a restaurant, just like a hotel. We want the same customers to come back. If we deliver them a consistent and quality experience, they tell other people. I mean, how many times have you even had like somebody build your deck or a pool or a fence? When a contractor does a great job, word of mouth. You want to tell everybody, oh, that's where I've benefited for the last 39 years.
For sure. And you don't even call anybody else when you need something else done. You just go and call them.
Quality and quantity. I think we do more on both spectrums.
Have there been any types of jobs that we seem to be doing a lot of in the last couple of years?
Warehouse.
Yeah, your warehouses have picked up substantially.
I've seen a lot of conference rooms turned into collab rooms, with the BYOD, or bring your own device setups. After COVID, or before COVID, we built a lot of conference rooms with the new, VGC systems. And then all of a sudden COVID came and everybody went home. And so these companies are sitting with these nice conference rooms and not using them at all. So lately I've seen a lot of those rooms turn into collab rooms. Yeah. And with AI coming in, it's moving pretty quick.
Okay.
The warehouses, data centers. I mean, we've been fairly busy on both those fronts on the voice and data side, but there's new stuff coming for us. I think our special systems has got some opportunities out there.
The distributed antenna systems has picked up substantially. Even though you have the remote or the work from home, they're still in demand. Schools, you name it.
And I know we've had some customers that have been saying that, in 2025, they're going to start making their customers, their employees come back to the office in some kind of hybrid role. So, we'll see what that brings.
Yeah, sure. That'll open up more opportunities for sure.
I think it'll definitely open up opportunities in AV and special systems. But the voice and data, because those offices are already cabled, and I don't see much of that being changed unless they, some reason they get rid of a floor or refigure a floor to optimize for the, this guy sitting here for Monday and Wednesday and this lady sitting here Tuesday and Thursday, maybe they do something like that. But we'll see.
What are some opportunities that you guys would like to see more of within Dallas?
Recently, my boss has said, hey, you need to start working on a 2025 business plan. And so neither of these two gentlemen across from me hadn't heard anything about any of my ideas. So this will be fun. So there's some communities are being built. They're going to have, like a bar and a restaurant and stuff like that. So I was like, if we could figure out who's developing those sites, maybe there's an opportunity for us to get onto the restaurant side or the AV side. And I also thought about puck space on that, but they're building football fields for high school around here the size of football stadiums for pros. So I think there's going to be some opportunities for special systems in those open spaces. That'd be something I'd be interested to go look at.
Definitely. I know near McKinney and Prosper and all the area up there, they're starting construction everywhere. It's every single weekend there's new spots opening up, and I think they're all exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I read about Panther Island. Joe, I know about the Panther Island project. I'm sure you live over that way.
I know what Panther Island is, but I hadn't heard of them.
So they got $2.5 billion slated to rebuild around the waterway, right? To make some flooding's less, and that get all worth it. They're going to build a whole new bar district over there. And so they're going to make it it's all little fancy 10,000 home island.
Dang.
With the bar district and businesses. They got it slated for I guess there's going to be a 10-story building for business development over there. So there's some stuff that's coming that's in right now being budgeted out and start work on.
Yeah, kind of like you said, we're seeing so much destination type real estate, the mixed use stuff. Yeah, the mixed use stuff where, say, a PGA goes up there in Frisco and now Universal Studios. It's not just PGA and Universal Studios. So when that comes in, there's so many other businesses that follow along. They have a project for that. I can't remember what it's called. The Frisco. I looked all this up just recently. So yeah, that'll definitely be an area of growth for us. And then hopefully we're lucky enough that 2, 3, and 4 office corporate move comes back. I know there is a big push for back to the office. I don't know that it comes back exactly as it was, but I think there's going to be some remote hybrid stuff.
I
And
think that's probably going to be a bulk of it is remote hybrid. Probably a lot of the people who are doing collab work or R&D, like AJ was talking about, like conference room changes. I think that's going to be a big push because you need people in a room. You can't do that over.
yeah, I think even to lure them back, they're going to want more amenities.
Single AV, like something that's secure for one person that another person can also use day in, day out, stuff like that. It's coming down the pipeline. I know Vix has got so many, more than I can keep up with, with the new future things that are coming in.
So AJ, since Electralink has made it a point to grow our AV division, and since AV is your specialty, what do you think sets Electralink's AV team apart from other competitors?
Dedication. I'd say dedication to the above standard protocol. Electralink instills that in everyone from day one, or from my perspective anyway. And with Dallas being the fourth largest metro area in the country, there's a considerable amount of competition in the field. Electralink has always took pride in quality of service, quality of work, and the AV department. We employ some of the best in the industry to provide customers with an exceptional end result. So, I mean, in a nutshell, it's going to be dedication. I can't think of any other word that would describe it better than that. I mean, we work together with our clients, the design team, and estimations to project managers and the install team, simply just to produce a functional system that sustains confidence and keeps users focused on the job at hand, and pleasing the customers is part of that dedication. It's exactly what we're reaching for.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the perfect word. And our AV team can do any size project, right?
Any size project. AV it's kind of fickle. I've dealt with so many different aspects. I started in live sound and went into corporate installs and commercial installs, and so I kind of have a different view whenever I'm designing or fulfilling a customer's wish. I feel like I see it differently than a lot of people. And so, I mean, sometimes that serves me, sometimes it doesn't, you know what I mean? But in a nutshell, I've always been dedicated to making or providing an AV system or an AV need, because it makes me proud to see something that's installed good, and I'm on the end of technology. I watch it, I read it, I live it. So yeah, I mean, I'm dedicated to it, so I feel like that's the best answer for this Dallas office, just dedication.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. All right, Paul, since you're out there shaking hands and making connections with different vendors or GCs and manufacturers, what do you think have been a few key things that you see reoccurring within the sales portion of your job?
Really, I see relationships are king. So I spend a good amount of my time networking at networking events, working with the folks that I've known over the last 18 years. Typically, it's better if we can do in person. I know we went to a Zoom or Teams call model, but I don't think anything takes the place of a meeting with folks and talking business, whether it be a lunch or a happy hour or just however you can be in front of someone in person. Sales is just such a huge market, but it's a really tight industry. There's and I can't quantify it, but there's, like AJ mentioned earlier, there's 8.1 million people in the Metroplex, but for our industry, there's probably 95 people that make most of the decisions across the market in our world. So yeah, if you can get to where you're only 2 or 3 degrees separation from all of those folks, I think that's the key, and that's what I see recurring in Dallas market. There's a lot of networking, and there's a lot of building solid relationships.
With Dallas getting more people just kind of moving in, have you noticed new salespeople kind of entering the scene, or is it still kind of that same core group?
No, there's definitely a surge in the new, and obviously we're not on camera, and I'm not a young man here in the group, but yes, we've got a lot of folks straight out of college, and it's kind of funny you say that, because now I've noticed that my networking group is a little different than the younger kids' networking group.
Right.
So that also bodes well, because you continue to maintain these relationships, and it also helps grow the market, because the younger folks, they get their own networking group, and we're not just kind of, nobody's overlapping. So it's been great to see it grow.
Good. What are some ways that kind of helps make the Dallas market unique from Electralink's other offices in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and College Station?
I would say our sales department here, and between Paul and AJ, I mean, they're Paul's out forward facing, AJ's out forward facing. They're not just sitting on a computer searching for something; they're out hunting it down. So, like Paul said, I think it's relationships and respect for them and their time, and they have the same thing for the clients. And so, I think that's the biggest difference. It's those two individuals' process. I give them all the credit.
Yeah, and then kind of like you said, you guys have spent a lot of time in the other offices. I haven't spent as much time, but I do feel like the demographics of Dallas, just as a business climate, feel like we're really lucky. We span almost every vertical market here, from telecommunications, healthcare, energy, logistics. I feel like our Dallas office is lucky in that respect.
Yeah, but we're not cornered into one area of the other market, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, like the company, the Electra Link, and hell, the nation for that matter, will sometimes ebb and flow with oil prices, where our Dallas market's unaffected, just because there's just so diversified as far as businesses in our area.
So it helps that Paul's one of those 95 people that makes decisions.
What direction do you predict the Dallas market heading towards in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a really good question.
I actually can't think of any scope that we don't is enough of to say, I mean, it's something that we haven't seen before is coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his scope's going to surprise us. I think probably what's going to dictate some of our work maybe is the power for Texas. I mean, we've had some jobs that had that issue arrive. But I like scope. I don't see it. I just don't. I think we're a big enough company that the manufacturers, when they're coming out with new stuff, they come see us, and so they're getting us trained up. So I don't think there's a lack of skill, and I don't think Paul or AJ are going to stop pushing Electrolink tomorrow or any day down the road. So it's hard to say though. I mean, I wish I had the magic ball and could tell us.
Yeah. In the next 5-10 years, I would think Dallas would continue to grow, and Texas for that matter. It's look at the things we had got going for us. We have no state income tax. Cost of living here is pretty favorable. But Dallas Fort Worth in general, I can see again, back to us being centrally located. The logistics side of it, we could become a larger logistics hub, a force in technology. And really just recently, a lot of biotech and life sciences has started to show up in the Dallas area. We're lucky with all these different verticals. It's, in my opinion, the place to be.
Yeah.
So the answer is up.
I know you mentioned about the power grid, but I've heard other people say that could become an issue. Do you think they'll have to expand the power grid in Texas, or what?
No, you'll have to build some more plants and add far so much to it. I mean, and we talked about 8.1 million people being here. I mean, it's just a large influx of people living here, new houses, apartment complexes, and then you got data centers going up everywhere. I mean, it's just a big ask on something they were upgrading constantly, and so now they got to play a little catch up. And I don't think Texas is going to be called that's pants down again. I think moving forward, once they get to a place where they are caught up to the need, they're just going to keep building for the future. And I don't think they'll ever having it.
Yeah, we've seen some of the power grid concerns pop up in the data center environment. Folks that wanted to do 12 buildings in some location are finding out, well, maybe we have to cut it back to 6 or 8 for now until things catch up. I don't profess to be an expert on it, but I've seen where they're looking for alternative sources, where maybe even nuclear power in a box type things.
But like Paul said, I mean, I do feel like they're going to have to come up with different resources. I mean, wind and solar are not going to do it. Just they're going to have to do their power, maybe go back to coal or natural gas plants, something else. They're going to have to supplement the.
Yeah.
And maybe, then maybe they spread the data centers further out, don't build them as fast. I mean, we just don't really know. I mean, so it's all the future.
Yeah. See what happens. And then our last question is, what do you guys think are some key things that help the Dallas office continue staying successful within Dallas?
I'll be honest with you, it comes from the field. And I mean, without the field, we don't have a job. And they're the foundation of Dallas. Without those folks, I wouldn't have a job. They're the one out there doing what we asked them to do. And they're the ones working in the cold, the heat, and putting time out there in the field to do it. We're selling Electra Link, but at the same time, we're selling those guys our ladies, because they're really what the job is built on.
Yeah, Jason hit it on the head. We've got the best group of guys and girls in the industry. They take pride in their work. They deliver a quality product every single time, which makes our customers come back to us. We've got loyal customers that have had for nearly 40 years. Again, back to relationships, general contractors across the board. Low voltage design consultants have also been helpful in the Dallas office, continuing to be successful, and even the commercial real estate brokers and project managers. We've enjoyed wonderful relationships in this office.
I couldn't agree more with the relationships and the tech part of the installers, like Jason said. And not everybody comes from the field, but I specifically did come from the field. Got a soft spot for those guys, and what Paul's right, we got some the best, and I've seen a lot of different Dallas offices is standalone, because ultimately Electra Link in a whole employs the best of the best, and we do a great job across the board. But Dallas is where I office out of, and that's the only place that I could write down, put my signature on, what I say, and I think those guys are the greats.
And to speak to the other offices in the same way, Electra Link has this culture, like, if you make it to 3 years here, you're going to be here for a long time. It is a business, but it also has some kind of a family feel to it. We all see it, maybe as brothers and sisters or uncles and cousins or whatever. I think that started from years ago, from when Ernie started the business, and there was brothers that came in, and they built a culture that's carried us through 30 some years, and hopefully carries us another 30. I don't see why it wouldn't.
And brothers and sisters do fight sometimes, but
you still love each other. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you still got each other back. If I'm with each other, then somebody comes to mess with your brother or sister, a different story. Yeah, I did back out. You're not a cabin for. I can do that.
Yeah, it really is just a great group of people. We're lucky to be a part of it.
But okay, that is all the time we have for today. So thank you guys for joining today's episode. I appreciate you being on. And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. Make sure you come back next week for a new episode. And don't forget to follow the Link Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. You can also check our social media pages to see any updates. Thank you guys, and have a good rest of your day.